Yeah, it was. I blame my stupid internet connection. I'm in here. I'm trying to figure this out. That's not you didn't calibrate, that's the problem. Okay. Hi, okay. Staring in front of me. Trying not to get food on me. Goes to go brush hair. Makes food instead. What am I? A functional human being? I'm not supposed to be functional. Making food? It's not allowed. Okay. Or like, this is actually firmly my, just seeing that pop up. This is actually like, yeah, okay. I need to get a new wireless adapter because my PC was never built for wireless. It was built for tears. Okay. Blue. Okay. I did not mean to hit that. Uh-oh. I kicked the power breaker. Good. Okay. AC's back on. Oh. I'm trying to get this to show up. There we go. I'm trying to get this to show up and it's just like, yeah, not gonna happen. Okay. Hi. Am here. Okay. Game time. Gotta do. Don't want any of that. I want that. Okay. And I need this up. I'm breaking stuff. Look, I can't help it, okay? I'm very upset. For those of you that weren't a part of this, I hopped on a new RP server just to be like, hey, just gonna flex a little bit of my creative ability. Nothing too, out there. Just, a little RP, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, reading through the rules, they're like, oh yeah, trans people are accepted. Like, we encourage diversity. I'm like, okay, request to make trans character, and they're just like denied. And I'm like, okay, can I get a bit more information on that? And they're just like, oh yeah, there's like, what you described was, like they're worried about, what was the freaking thing? I have it somewhere. What was it? It's not final yet, but they were just like, what you described doesn't fit what you're asking for. While we're inclusive, we also need to be wary of what is it? Yeah, we also need to be wary of characters. Oh, sorry, we also need to be careful and wary that characters aren't seen as fetishizing a specific group of our community. What you described was an intersex individual. And I was like, okay, wait, hold on. I described a character that was transgender because of, it's like D&D styled RP. And I was like, yeah, I described a character that was transgender because they're like a mixture of like two spirits. Like, there's literally the human aspect and the animal spirit aspect. They're literally two spirit. And I was like, yeah, well, they're transgender. Like, the same forces that essentially allow them to be whatever unique race that they are. Also, resulted in this person being transgender. Like, woman in sexually male body. Like, that was what I was going through. Like, you're describing it as intersex. I'm like, okay, well, the problem is intersex, intersex people can still be trans, so I don't see how this is even limiting what this request is. And it's just one of those moments of like, okay, someone's going on a power trip here, and they're like, no, you can't be trans. I'm like, well, if you're gonna say that you're inclusive, and then you're gonna deny people being trans just because they say, like, I want to, then you're not being trans inclusive. You're being exclusionary. You're saying you have to validate your reason for being trans. No one needs to validate their reason for being trans. Like, you can just be trans. You can just be like, yeah, no, I'm transgender. And someone goes, okay, validate your existence to me. How about, go fuck yourself? You know, just shove that up your ass. I don't need to explain shit. Oh, some people are sexualizing trans people? Yeah, that happens every fucking day. And what happens? Literally, there's fuck all anyone who's trans who can do about it, and the only thing that seems to stop it is by trans people not existing, which isn't an option, so these people are still gonna do it. Like, a male bottle. Yeah, just, you know, woman in a male bottle. It's just I'm just a woman in a sexually male flesh suit. And I am slowly... What was it? There was a really good Tumblr post on this, and it was like, no, I am not your son. You know, like I'm the parasite, the thing that has overtaken and like replaced them. And slowly I'm turning their memories into my memories and all this other stuff. And it's like, so at the end of the day, yes, go ahead, more than your son. Thanks for the biomass. And I was like, you know, I feel that. I feel that on a certain level. Like, I've always been me. And this is just me figuring out more of who me is. But, like, do I need to make that more up? Is this the problem I've been fighting? Have I finally solved one of the background problems with me operating this mic is literally just because I don't have you screwed insanely close to the front of the mic? Okay. Hoorah. There we go. Oh, that is so much better. I can actually, like, move you more towards my face. Great. Yeah, no, it's just like, I've always been who I am, but then, like, everyone's always just like, what's it like to be trans? And it's like, I don't know, what's it like to be a fucking human being? Like, I woke up one day and went, you know, this isn't working for me, and I made a change. Like, you could do that with a pair of socks. You could just put a pair on and go, you know, I don't like the way this is feeling. I don't like these socks anymore. They weren't comfortable to begin with. I just put up with them for reasons, because other people liked them. And honestly, I'm not okay with this. You just take off the socks, you throw it out, and you just put on a different pair. It's like what's it like to be trans? I don't know, like changing your socks, changing your underwear? Like, it's the same freaking thing. It's just that other people get really mad that I'm not wearing the same fucking underwear as apparently everyone else. They're very pissed off. They're like, oh no, that's only for women. It's like, you know what? What if I like the way that it just, you know, what if I like the feeling of lace between my cheeks? That's literally what it comes down to. Like, it's preference. And you don't even have to fucking make it a big deal, because it's not like I'm like broadcasting. Oh, I guess I am kind of broadcasting it. That's because everyone's still being weird about it. Like, I'd be less likely to stick patches on my jacket and wear cat ears. Yeah, see, right there in chat. That's, like, a good point. Like, the thing is that, like, I've always kind of liked D&D, because, like, you could always just do anything. And D&D was, through the creation of a character that I'm going to call Raven, because that's what her assassin title was. She had, like, a raven's mask, and her whole thing was she was, like, an assassin, and I got to play, as a girl in a D&D session that was actually hosted by people that are in this chat. And it was kind of like, I guess, my first gender crossing experience. And it helped me, like, break into, like, playing other games. Like, I'd play... What is it? I'd play, everything from MMORPGs to, like, Skyrim, like, just any game at all. I was just female from then on. And it was just, I don't know, it felt more like me, and it was kind of one of the things that like helped me come out, was literally just the realization that I was happier in like tabletops and video games than it was in real life. And it wasn't that I was like, because I was having fun, it was just like, it felt like every single time I stepped away from the table, it felt like every single time I stepped away from the table, I was like, leaving a part of myself behind that felt like I shouldn't be leaving it behind. Like, it was like I was... Yeah, I see that. Raven was a good character. I don't think I brought out the best she could be, largely because ADHD was not letting me focus on the game. Sorry about that. We're trying to get medicated. I have a doctor's appointment coming up soon, like sometime in, I think it's September 1st. I get to talk to my doc and be like, yeah, so the last medication really was trying to frickin' kill me, because I got hot 4 times last month after the dosage increase to the 36 milligrams of Concerta, and I got so hot I woke up, I was like, oh wow, and like all of the alters in my head, all of us were like, okay, we're normally more cohesive than this. We're normally able to like talk and like communicate in the back. We couldn't. It was only outwards communication and like whatever the current thought was. We also couldn't keep thoughts in our head for longer than like a few minutes. And it was like, it was terrifying, because here I am sitting on a toilet in the bathroom going like, sipping water, being like, okay, I need to get in front of an AC unit. I need to take this pill. I need to go and get on drink this water, put this ice pack on my neck. Like, I need my neck to cool down. If my brain is, if I'm too hot, I'm not gonna reach my heart in time, you know? Like the 2 major arteries that you have for, or the 2 major places you have arteries for to like rapidly cool down your heart, your internal temperature, is actually on the sides of either of your neck. Kind of just drape something across both, because one will go to your brain and one will go down. And you want the one that's going down into your heart to be like pumped and then shuttled towards your lungs. You want that one to be the one you're sticking the ice pack on. And I can't remember if that's like the left one or the right one, but it doesn't matter. It's just whichever that artery is, you've got to get it. You've got to get it like pumping that cold, that chilled blood directly into your heart. Like, you've got to cool down. The other spot to do it is your leg. So like if you have like a lot of ice packs, it's like slap them on like the outer side of your leg and your neck, and just wait, and you'll cool down faster that way. It won't necessarily stop like your external temperature. Like if your external environment's still hot, you're still going to be generating heat, but it can give you, or at least buy you a little bit more time. So that's what I had to do, because I had the smarts to grab. What was it? I don't know why you're like grabbing my eyebrows so much, program, but hi, it would be like really nice if you like didn't do that. Anyway, it was like, I don't know, it was like I had the sense to grab ice packs, and then I was like, okay, I gotta place them here, but like I couldn't think. Like every thought was it was like being on the worst high of your life. Every thought was 1,000 miles away. Like it was something somebody else told you. But I thought it, and I knew that I thought it, but it was like a memory I had remembered 1,000 times, and now I was remembering it, but it was all vague. Like it's something that I was like instantly forgetting and only getting like vague impressions of. So I had to like think a thought and then recognize that it was gonna be gone, and that I just have to trust whatever action I decided to take. So I was like, okay. Pushed myself off the tile off the side of the wall, and was like, because that was cold, and I was like, you know what? Living room AC max cold setting. So took my took myself out of the bathroom, realized halfway through walking that like I needed to pull out my phone to see. So I had to be like, walk towards the AC, turn on your flashlight. Those are the two thoughts that I could have. And so I managed to turn on the flashlight, got to the AC, turned it all the way up to like cold max, blasted it fully and just sat in front of it and was like, ice pack on my neck, waiting for this to like die down. And I was like, oh God, like I might not survive this. Like I feel like this is the only action I can take. And the only thing else I thought to do was be like, hey, you know, to my spouse, like, hey, I'm not okay. And then not explain anything else past that because I didn't have the words for it. So they're like, okay. And they're like confused and go back to whatever they're doing. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm probably going to die here. Like it was just this impending dread of like, yeah, this is over. I'm done. Curtains calling, guys. Goodbye. And then it just sipped water and was like, you know what? Just every second counts. That was just my thought in that moment. And then it slowly started to pass, and I realized that I was shivering, which meant that I was cold, but I couldn't feel it. So I was like, okay, internally I am cold, but my outer body is still hot. I'm having a hot flash. So I just sat there until it felt like it went down, and then I was still having that memory issue where like I couldn't keep things in my thoughts. But it was like, I kind of knew that I was okay, so I just lied down and was like, okay, well, I gotta try and go to sleep, because the only way my brain's gonna reset is if it fully turns off. I was like, so I'm gonna go to sleep, which is probably not a good idea, but like, at this point, I was like, I can either keep existing until like my heart finally stops, or I can lie down and potentially just pass out and not know this is gonna hurt, you know? And so I just lied down, was like, okay, this is probably death, but whatevs, and then fell asleep, woke up next morning and was like, okay, that was weird, and then continued on with life and didn't change it. And then it would happen 3 more times before I was like, you know, I'm gonna stop taking these meds. I think it's the meds. It's the only thing that's changed. And so I stopped. It was a couple days before my doctor's appointment. My doctor's like, yeah, how's the meds doing? I'm like, yeah, I think they're killing me. He's like, okay, explain. And I explained what's going on. I'm like, look, I'm not a doctor, but at the same time,